Thank you very much. It's nice to have you guys here again, right? This is another one of our amazing master classes, and it's another opportunity for us to learn together and also enjoy a lot of freebies together. So, per usual and always, this is a masterclass brought to you by Tenalytics, and today we are going to be looking at, doing a more specific masterclass, and yeah, I do hope that you all enjoy the masterclass. All right, so we're expecting a lot more people to join, but we're just going to get started, right? My name is Damilola, and I am going to be your host for today, along with my colleague, who is going to come up and introduce herself later. But yes, I would like to meet everybody on the call. So I want you guys to tell me your name and where you're joining from. You can drop that in the chat as well. Give us your name and where you're joining us from in the chat. All right, so this is just to get to know one another better and also to like personalize this masterclass. So your name and where you're joining us from. Hi, Pauline. Welcome. Nice to meet you. Rachel from Maiduguri. Nice to meet you as well. Pauline from Kenya. Nice to meet you, Pauline. Yeah, more people. Tell us your name and of course where you are joining us from. We'd like to meet you. And yeah. Okay. Esther from Abuja, welcome as well. I'm expecting more people to drop their names before we, dive right into the session. So your name and where you're joining us from. Zainab from Abuja, welcome Zainab. It's nice to meet you all. Welcome once again. All right, so whilst people are still dropping their names, I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen and introduce Tenalytics and what we're going to be doing here today. Hi, Joseph from Lagos. Nice to meet you as well. So let me know if you can see my screen in a minute. Okay. Please let me know if you can see my screen. You can just drop a thumbs up for me in the chat. Hi, Mary. Can you see my full screen? Hello, guys. Can you guys hear me? All right, you can see my screen. Thank you. Okay, so today, like I said, we're going to be having a specialized masterclass, and we're going to be looking at HR analytics. Okay, talking about we're going to be doing a practical session. All right, so this is unlike mass tech series where we just explain all the programs together. For this particular one, we're going to be looking at HR analytics, where we're going to be, working on a case study, a fully automated employee reports using Google Forms and Google Sheets, and then integrating it with Power BI. And after that, would talk about HR in full. All right. So, but before we get started on that, let me introduce you to Tenalytics. If you've never heard about Tenalytics. So Tenalytics is an edtech educational technology company helping Africans and people of the Black community transition into tech. What we do is we lower the entry barrier into tech and ensure that everybody, no matter your background, no matter your skill set, no matter where you're coming from, no matter where you've worked previously, you're able to transition easily into tech. All right. So our service offerings are aimed at helping people build capacity. We help people understand different tech roles that they can get into, and also help them transition smoothly into these tech roles. We have tech fields including data analytics, business analysis, data science, financial analytics, cybersecurity, and HR analytics that we're doing here today, as well as Scrum Master and data engineering. All right, and our facilitators, the people that we bring in to tutor our students, are top professionals from diverse sectors. They are from reputable organizations like Apple, like Microsoft, McKinsey, Sahara, Coca-Cola. They are from different parts of the world, and of course, they are always doing everything that they can to ensure that people get optimal value. Yeah, they get optimal value. And our courses are structured in a way that are very simplified, very beginners friendly. You don't even have to have done anything tech related before. As long as you're able to get yourself into the program, we'll take it up from there. All right. So our courses are structured in a way that makes it practical and ensures that you get optimal value. Okay, so meet our founder and co-founder. On my left-hand side, we have Adeza Suleiman. He is the founder of Tenalytics, and he's a data analytics expert, data science expert across UK, US, and Canada. All right. He has previously worked as a data analyst with Sahara Group and also with FITC as a data analytics consultant. And he has over a decade experience, over a decade years of experience cutting across various sectors such as oil and gas, energy, automobile, management consulting, sport, and so on and so forth. And Adeza has trained over 8,500 500 participants and has helped them transition smoothly into tech. All over LinkedIn, his work really speaks for him. You can connect with him on LinkedIn at Adeza Suleiman, on Instagram at Adeza Suleiman, as well as Twitter at Adeza Suleiman. And then on the right hand side, we have our co-founder in person of Ifemina Ipro. Ifemina is the co-founder of Tenalytics, and he has also worked as a data science contractor, data engineering contractor in different parts of the UK, in the US, and Canada as well. He has previously worked at the post office in the UK as a business data support lead, and also worked at Teleflex in Ireland as global business systems analyst. Okay, and he has also worked at DPD Ireland as a business intelligence developer. Okay, Ifemina has experience in data analytics, data science, data engineering, cybersecurity, power platform development. Basically, is jack of all trades. And he's a data scientist with close to a decade years of experience, cutting across multiple sectors as well. So if you'd like to get a feel of what Ifemina does, you can always catch him up on LinkedIn at Ifemina Ipro, on Twitter at Ifemina IK, and as well as LinkedIn, Instagram at Ife. Okay, so for us here today, your host, this is me on the left-hand side. I currently lead the trading operations at Tenalytics. Okay, and I have over 5 years of experience in data analytics and data science, working across high-level projects and multiple C-suite working with multiple C-suite executives, cutting across different NGOs, different companies, education, finance, and technology industry. And you can connect with me on LinkedIn at Uluwadamlola Ajumobi. Then my co-hosting with me today is Mary Anene, right? She has over 5 years of experience in data analytics. She has helped over 1,000 people transition into tech, from classroom to their first job in tech. She is an HR analyst and a data analyst, and has worked across multiple national legislative body, marketing NGO, and education sector, right? And Mary is going to be taking us through the practical aspects of our session today. All right. So you can connect with Mary on LinkedIn as Mary Hanene and on Twitter as Mary. So that's basically Tenalytics and the co-founder and founder, as well as your host for today. All right. Yeah, so moving forward, what are we doing here today? Why are we here today? What are we doing today? Number one, we are going to be building an automated report with Power BI reports using an employee survey. So we put together a survey and we sent it out to different employees to fill the form, which obviously we're going to still be doing here today. And then with the survey that they filled, we are going to be building an automated report. An automated report basically speaks to a report that can automate, it can, update itself with little to no support. That's the first thing that we're going to be doing. Then secondly, we're going to be talking about how you can get started as an HR analyst, how you can get started as an HR analyst. Then we'll talk about our upcoming HR analytics program, and of course, the huge discounts that we have running. Then we'll talk about our success stories and we'll close for the day. So it's going to be a very short session, and I promise you this is a session that you're going to absolutely enjoy. So this is the point where we get started, and I'm going to be calling on Mary to take over the session. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Damlola. Nice to be here. Good evening, everyone. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, just put a thumbs up in the chat or just put one in the chat. All right, I can see Gbemisola. Gbemisola, nice to see you. iPhone, yes, awesome. All right, so I believe we are very much ready for today's class. We are very much ready for our case study for today, right? Awesome. I can see we are very, very excited. I can't wait for us to get hands-on into this project, work on it together, develop our dashboard. And also, I want us to also keep in mind that we're going to be having a very much active participation today, all right? So I want us to pay attention and work together till the very end of this meeting, all right? Awesome. I'm so happy to see you guys. I think we are, there's a good number of us on the call, right? So yeah, we can get started. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and share my screen. So we can start with what we have for today. All right, so as my colleague has mentioned earlier, we're going to be working on a specific case study, which has to do with process automation in HR, okay? So basically, we are going to round this off with a company's situation, right? And we're going to be looking at it from the angle of this company, understanding what their issue is, and then helping them to actually solve that problem, all right? So what we have here is an energy company, a renewable energy company that wants to understand its employees much better, all right? In terms of job satisfaction, they want to understand their employees. Are these employees actually happy with their jobs? Are they actually doing fine at work, okay? So what we are going to do here is to use the employee demography to gain insights as to what is going on in this organization, right? Want to break it down. Who are those that are most likely to say, oh, they don't like their job or they are not satisfied with their job? Or who are those that are most likely to say, oh, yeah, we actually enjoy this job and all that, okay? So if we find this information out, it makes it easier for us to know how to tailor our recommendations or how to enhance the workspace, right, for these particular individuals, right? I believe we are all together. You guys are understanding what I'm trying to say, right? So we understand this, we use this information to understand how to enhance job satisfaction for these individuals. So we're going to be looking at some things, all right? Like my colleague mentioned earlier, we already have a form that have been created, and we have some individuals that fill the form, all right? So I want to walk us through what our form looks like and some of the things that we've actually put in place in order to gather the necessary information to tackle this job satisfaction issue, all right? So let me just go back there very quickly. All right, so here we go. So here's our survey form. Our survey form has information based on our employee name, although this is not a real case study because we want to maintain the privacy of individuals. So we just want to use just their nicknames, right? To understand how many people are responding to this form, first of all right? The next thing we looked at in collecting this information is the job titles of this individual, all right? The reason why we collected job title information is just to understand if the division of work or if the job title helps us understand whether the job is hectic for an individual or not, right? So if it's someone that is doing maybe an internship job, all right, depends on the kind of workforce they are working with. An internship job might not be as stressful as a senior role, right? So first of all, we want to understand what job this individual is working under at the moment, their job position. They want to also understand their gender or want to know their gender, all right? Are the male employees likely to have low job satisfaction or high job satisfaction than the female employees, right? So this is why this information is here as well, okay? So we'll be collecting information on that as well, okay? Then we have age group. We want to break it down into age groups, right? We want to know if those people that are the youngest in the workforce are most likely to say, oh, I don't like my job, I want to move from this job to another place, or I don't like how this particular environment treats me right now. Or maybe it's for those that are older, like maybe 30 and above, like we have on the form here, okay? So I believe people in their older age groups are most likely to say, yeah, I'm satisfied with my job. I like how everything is going here. And I think I've gotten to a stage where I can say, yes, I've made the right decision, I've made the right choice, and I can continue with this, all right? So we want to find out some of those differences as well. Then the next thing we are looking at is which country do you currently reside, right? Where's your location? Does your location affect your job satisfaction? We also want to look at that as well. We want to understand if employee locations affect their job satisfaction. Then we'll look at which of the positions or which of these work types are most affected in terms of job satisfaction, okay? Those that work on site, those that work hybrid, those that work remote. I believe we all know that these are different job situations that can also impact job satisfactions. I believe most times those that work remotely are more job satisfied, although it might not be the case in most circumstances. So that's what this survey is going to help us to find out as well, okay? Who are those that are most likely to have a good job satisfaction, and how can we tailor the workforce to fit into or accommodate the needs of all the employees in order to encourage a well nurtured and productive work environment, all right? Then we also looked at ethnicity and diversity, right? So is there inclusion in your workplace? Is there diversity in your workplace? You want to communicate that as well, all right? So if understanding that, yes, there's no inclusion in the workplace, this might hinder job satisfaction in different ways, all right? It might hinder job satisfactions in different ways. If you find out that there's no equal rights, equal opportunity, there's no diversity, there's no inclusion, how then can you grow in your work environment, right? So you want to find out if this is something that the employees feel that, yes, this is an issue for them and they want to change that particular situation, right? Then we have our scales, rating our work-life balance, all right? How does work-life balance influence job satisfaction? How does your performance at work influence your job satisfaction? And finally, just tell us your overall job satisfaction, all right? So we can understand it and also bring out some analysis from it, all right? So this form is going to be collecting information on a real-time basis, all right? And we are going to be connecting this particular form, all right, through the Google Sheet that has been connected to it. Let's see, okay. Let's see our Google Sheets. Let me just open this up, all right? So just go ahead and open up our Google Sheet right here. All right, so we are going to be connecting our form through our Google Sheet. All right, we'll connect this form through our Google Sheet. Don't worry, once we finish developing this dashboard, we'll have the opportunity to also fill the form so that we can understand what is so automated about this process. All right, we understand what is so automated about this process, collecting information, gathering insight, and being able to update this dashboard on real-time basis without having to do any much work or having to gather insight, recommendation, connect clean data over and over again, just to keep on getting consistent insights and understanding what is going on in the work phase. All right. So this is our form. All right. We've seen our form, and this is our Google Sheets. All right. This is what we are going to be working with in our Power BI. Okay. So if you are still with me, just give me a thumbs up, okay, in the chat, or type in 1 in the chat so that we know we are very much together. Awesome, 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 awesome. Amazing. All right. Okay, so let's move on to our Power BI. Let's move on to our Power BI interface. All right, so I believe we can all see my screen. Okay, so we are going to open up a new Power BI interface right here. Okay, so this is the updated version. They've done some changes to it. Okay, so that's the joy of Power BI. They keep making it easier and easier. So it's time for us to start creating our dashboard, right? So first things first, we are going to be importing our data set into Power BI, all right? So for some of us that are familiar with Power BI, we know that we can use Excel spreadsheet and all that. We also know that Power BI helps us to connect to numerous data platforms, all right? Numerous data sources, right? And Google Sheets is one of them, all right? And we're going to be seeing how to connect our live data sets in our Power BI today, all right? So let's get started. So the first thing we are going to do is to take the step to bring in this particular data. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Get Data. All right, so I have this list of expansion here, and we don't have Google Sheets or anything related to connecting to a live data from this first format. All right, so we still have another option here saying more data, connect to more data, right? More data options here. Okay, so I'm going to click on this and let's see what we have here. All right, so we have even more lists out of this place. All I have to do here is just go to my search bar and type Google. All right, so everything that has to do with Google is shortlisted right here. Okay, so I can see my Google Sheets. Okay, I can see my Google Sheet. I'm going to click on that and click Connect. So that will help us connect our data set to Google. Okay, so this is a third-party connection service, and we have to impute our credential. I have to impute my credential to make sure that this connects properly. All right, so I'll just click on continue. Okay, so it asks you to put in your form URL or your Google Sheet URL. So I'll just put in my Google Sheet URL here. Okay, so sorry about that. All right, let me just go back and copy that very quickly. All right. Okay, so I'll just paste that here. So that's the link to the Google Sheets form. Don't worry, we are going to get access to all of this and we'll be able to practice on our own as soon as we lay our hands on it. All right. So this is our Google Sheet link. I'll just click OK. And the next thing you need to do is just to confirm the exact account this particular sheet is going to be coming from, just to authorize permission and access to this sheet. All right. So let's wait for that. All right. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and sign in. Okay. All right. So we are good to go now. So we have connect here. So I'll go ahead and connect my data. And let's see what we have. Let's see what we have. All right. All right, so we have a data preview here. So let's quickly look at exactly what we have here. We are going to see a little bit of our data sets here, and then we'll continue, okay? So I'm going to check this box right here so that I'll see that preview, okay? Just to be sure that, yes, we are connecting to the right source. Okay, absolutely. We have all our questions from our forms here and all the informations that has been gathered already, okay? So I'll go ahead and click on transform data so we can head over to Power Query and start doing some adjustments, looking into our data and seeing if there are some discrepancies to work on, all right? So this process is just like taking your ingredients to the kitchen and cleaning them up, chopping them up before you start putting them in the pot to cook, right? So that's exactly what we are going to be doing here, okay? All right, so I'm just waiting for that to load and we can continue from here. Okay, so guys, the first thing you are going to notice here is that we don't have our column headers, right? We have column 1, column 2, and all that. But on the sheet itself, all right, let me go back here. On our Google Sheets, we have our headers here, timestamp, nickname, your job title, your gender, and all that, all right? So here in Power Query, we don't have that kind of situation here, all right? So we are going to fix that, all right? That's exactly what we're going to do now. We're going to fix it. And to fix it, you find a tool here that helps us to do just that, just by a click of a button. That's how simple and fast this is going to be, all right? So our first row here, we are just going to click on this area that says use first row as header, all right? So I'll go ahead and click on that, all right? So once I click on it, we have our data transforming itself immediately, all right? So you can see that immediately we have our first row headers imputed. In fact, it has picked up all the data types. Okay, you can see these tiny icons here. It has picked up all the data types that are attributed to this particular data. Okay, so the second thing I want to do here is to ensure that the information within each of these columns are at least similar. Okay, let's take, for example, some of the attributes or some of the questions in our form where we allowed people to actually type in their answers, right? For name, all right, we don't have any issue with that because we said put in your nickname, right? Then for the area of, let's see, country, yes, we allowed people to type in their country. So we might find situations whereby some people imputed different kind of spellings for a particular country. Let's say Nigeria, for example. Some people might impute NG, all right? NG as Nigeria. And for UK, some people might impute United Kingdom and then UK as well, all right? So I want to make sure that there's a standard for all of this information, okay? That would be for us to make sure that we have one type of name representing each country before bringing in our data into Power BI. So let's quickly do that. I'm going to go ahead and check the list of information I have here by clicking on this drop down filter handle here, okay? So I'll just go ahead and click on that. And you can see all the information that we have, all right? So we can see UK here, UK with capital letter, UK, one capital letter, one small letter, all right? The same country, different names, all right? This will be represented differently once we bring it into our Power BI. So we want to make sure we clean that. We make sure that we set it to a particular type, all right? Then for USA and US, all right? US, USA, we know that this person is talking about the same area. I want to make sure we transform that as well, okay? So let's go ahead and replace value, okay? So we are going to be making this one, and we're also going to be making this last two US one state as well, all right? So let's get into it. All right. So to do that, I'll just highlight this column first of all, just by clicking on the header. Then I'll go over to my replace value. All right. All right. I'll take up replace value. Click on that. And it gives me a simple and straightforward display to help me fix the errors or fix the discrepancies that are in this column. All right. So I've clicked on that. And you're going to see how straightforward it is, all right? Simple, plain English, no technical jargons or anything. It just says replace value. Replace one value with another in the selected column, right? We've selected our country column. Now it says value to find. So which value do you want Power Query to look for you? I want it to look for the UK with the difference, with the capital letter and small letter, right? So that's what I'm going to type in here. And then I want it to replace it with the UK value with both capital letters, all right? With both capital letters. So you can see the difference here, small k, capital letter K, all right? That's the difference. Value to find, value to replace, all right? Don't worry, we are going to see the effects, all right? So I'll click OK. And everything that I'm doing here, luckily for me, is recorded under these applied steps, all right? It's recorded under these applied steps. This means that if such error comes in again during this automation process, I do not have to go back and forth to fix that, all right? It has been done, and it has been done once and for all. So that's the joy of automation. You clean your data once, and you keep enjoying that cleanliness or the work you've done throughout. All you have to do is just little work, come into your dashboard, click on refresh, and that's it for you, all right? So let's look at the next thing we want to replace. We want to replace US, all right? We want to replace US. Okay, so I'll go back the same step, replace value. Okay, so I'll type in US, all right? And I want to replace that with USA, all right? US and USA, okay? I'll click OK. Okay, that's done its work. This time around, let's check using our filter again. So I'll just click on that. All right, so we have an error here saying USAA, all right? We never saw that before, but for our UK, all right, for our UK, we don't have those two informations anymore. So we are going to fix this, all right? This is why it's good for us to always check what we've done, the progress we've made, and the changes we've implemented as well, all right? So I'm going to fix that again. So we have USAA right now, and we're going to fix that. The same step we took, let's do that very quickly. Replace value, all right? So we have USSA, and we want it to be converted to USA. Let's see if it complies now. All right. Awesome. So we don't have that anymore. All right. I believe we can all see what's going on here. If we are together, just type in 1 in the chat. All right. Type in 1 in the chat. If we are together, you are following so far. All right. I can see Pauline. I can see Gbemisola. Wealth. Awesome. Awesome. Mary Antoinette. Awesome. 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 Joseph is here as well. Awesome. All right, guys, I'm happy to see that everyone is following through so far. Okay, so let's go on. So now that we've gotten ourselves familiar with our data, we've been able to clean it. We want to also make sure that our headers here, is something that is easy to understand. On the form, the questions were fine, all right? But in our data analysis, we might not want to have such long column headers, all right? So we're going to go ahead and just change that. For our job title, what is your job title? We want to just reduce that to job title. So here we go. I'll just double click on the header here, all right? And make changes to that, okay? I'll just remove the question mark and the question itself and leave just job title. Click enter, and that's that. Okay, I'll do the same thing for others as well, all right? So I'll just double click. Okay, this is now our gender column. Okay, age group. Okay, so here we have country. I'll just quickly change that, country. Okay. Then we have, what's it called? We have work type, all right? So I'm trying to read all the questions, all right? So let's fix that as well. Work type. Our work type includes on-site, remote work, hybrid, okay? The normal work types that we have in our day-to-day lives, right? So I believe some of us here work remotely, some of us here work on-site, and some work hybrid, all right? So we can speak from experience that all those work types are not exactly the same, all right? All those work types are not exactly the same, all right? Everyone has their experience with hybrid work. Some have a different experience entirely with remote, okay? And everything has their disadvantages as well as advantages, right? Okay, so let me just quickly finish with this, just deleting the headers, changing it to shorter titles, okay? To make our analysis a bit faster, all right? All right, so all these changes I'm making are very much recorded by Power BI. So whatever questions we still have on our form, okay, when we are refreshing and doing all that, we don't have to worry about Power BI not recognizing the form headers and all that, okay? The changes are very well recorded, all right? The steps we are taking right now are very well recorded. So our headers are going to be recognized even after we've put in new data, all right? Even after we've taken this form out and put in new data, okay? So let's go on. All right, so we have nickname. I'm just going to leave that as that. I believe all our title headers are now shorter and easier for us to read through, okay? Awesome. So now we are going to load our data into Power BI, all right? So we've gone into the kitchen and we've chopped our vegetables, cleaned our produce that we're going to use to cook, right? Now it's time for us to start cooking, okay? Now it's time for us to start cooking. I believe we are ready for this next step. Are we ready? Are we ready? Let's see ready in the chat. If you are ready to go, are you ready? Awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. I like the energy in the house tonight. Amazing, amazing. All right, let's get started. Let's get started. All right, so I'll just click on this icon here and we are in Power BI. All right, let me click on that, close and apply. All right, and we'll get into Power BI immediately. Okay, So let me just open this up. I believe we missed a step here. All right, so I'll just wait for the data to load. And after it loads, we can continue from where we stopped. All right. Okay, so we can see our form here loading. Okay, let's give it a minute. Okay, so our data set is still loading. All right, so let's just be patient and we'll get started immediately after. Awesome. So we are almost there. We are almost there. We are almost there. And I believe we have arrived. Okay, so let's get started. All right, I believe we can all see my screen, right? Okay. All right, let's just give it a minute and we'll be moving at the speed of light again. Okay. So I believe Power BI is just trying to make sure that all our data is fully loaded. So let's give it that a minute. All right, so we now have our form here. All right, our response form is now in our Power BI. Okay, so like we said, we're going to be taking advantage of our employee demography, right? Who has an idea of what employee demography is? Who has an idea of what employee demography is? You can type in the chat, all right, with an example, all right? You can just mention any of the things you feel that is an employee's demography that can describe our employee demography beautifully for us. Okay, with an example of column names, all right, I can see age group, amazing. Okay, age, gender, awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so we are mentioning age and gender, age and gender. Okay, someone said they can't hear me. All right, I believe, all right. I'm not sure that's from my end. Ethnicity, awesome, awesome. That's also something to look out for. Amazing, amazing. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, I'm just going to quickly go back to our question so that we can see exactly what we want to do today. All right, so here we go. We have these questions here that helped us to tailor, that is helping us to tailor exactly what we need to do today. So we are going to look at the significance of job satisfaction based on different age groups, all right? We're also going to be looking at job satisfaction based on the different work types that we have. That is our remote work, on-site work, and all that. Then we'll be understanding our employee diversity and inclusion, also based on this job satisfaction, right? And finally, we'll be looking at some noticeable trends or patterns in job satisfaction based on gender, all right, job title, as well as country of residence, all right? So let's just put that in our thoughts while we go on to build this dashboard, all right? So first of all, we are going to be bringing in some key metrics, right? Key metrics that would help us in this analysis. All right, so first of all, we want to know how many people have actually responded to this survey. So we know what we are grouping this by, all right? So we are going to use a card visual here. I'll just click on this visual right here. Okay, so with this visual, we'll be looking at a representation of the total amount of people that have filled the form, so that when we do our refresh, okay, that's after we've also filled the form in the group chat, in the charts, right? After we've done that, we will also see the new information that says the amount of people that have now filled the form. We can start from there to see all those differences as well, all right? So to get the number of those that have filled the form, I'll be using our name column, all right? I'll be using our name column to get that particular information. So I'll just go ahead and click on this, okay? So first of all, it's going to generate a text figure, but we are going to do some things to just adjust that and make sure we have the accurate figure for this particular analysis, all right? All right, so we're waiting for that to show. All right, so like I mentioned earlier, we are going to be getting a text figure right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and change that before this finish loading. Okay, and that will be done here, right here on that field, all right? So whenever we select a column, it comes to this place, all right? And that is exactly what we'll be expecting to reflect on our visual, okay? So the column that we selected will be reflected here in the visual we selected, all right? Then if you want to make any changes to that, maybe you want to see it differently, you don't want to see the text, okay? Just like this, I want to see the count. That's the number of people that have filled the form. I'll just go on here, click on this drop down. All right, you can see this tiny drop down right here, and click on, let's see, distinct count. All right, I want the exact number of people that have filled the form. So I'll just go ahead and click on that, and it changes to numbers. All right, so quickly, I would like to edit this name under here. I don't want it to show count of nicknames, but number of response. All right, so I'll just type that in here. Okay, click enter. All right, so I'll quickly make some adjustments to this, and I would like to duplicate the adjustments, or rather formats, that I'll be making to this to also visualize other key indicators as well. All right, so here I'll just change this to 35. Okay, minimize that. Okay, I think this is fine at 10. Okay, also adjust this a little to this side. And finally, I would like to turn on the borders as well as the shadows. All right. So this is what our card visual now looks like. We have the highlights, making it pop a little bit. All right. So like I said, we want to look at other key measures as well. And that should include the average job satisfaction that is recorded in this company. All right. Aside from that, we're also going to look at the average performance of this individual, as well as the average job work-life balance. All right. So I'll just click on these charts here and copy exactly what I can see here. All right. So I'll just move that around very quickly. Okay, so here I'll be replacing those values one after the other. I'll cancel this information here, and let's see what our average job satisfaction says. All right, I'll check this job satisfaction. Okay, we have a sum. Our sum doesn't give us exactly what we need to see, but our average will give us that. All right, because if we are looking at a job satisfaction rate, we have it from 1 to 5. If we look at the sum, we don't know if it is good or bad. But when we look at average and we see the average satisfaction rate is 3.2, we know that, okay, this is a little bit above average. That means everybody that filled the form are a bit well above average when it comes to job satisfaction. All right, so we don't have people that are too displeased with their work, but we have people that are at least above average, well satisfied with their jobs. All right, so unlike the research that we have, okay, unlike the international research that we have, at least there are about 87% of individuals who are basically unsatisfied with their jobs. All right, so they are basically working at jobs that they are not happy with, and they are just using it to pay bills. But I believe that's not the case for those that fill this form, okay, because they have a very good satisfaction rate, more than what was expected. I hope that's what will be expected once we fill the forms on ourselves. All right, so the next thing we're going to look at is our work-life balance. All right, so I'll just click on that, and also I'll be looking at the average. Okay, so we have our average work-life balance. All right, so that is very poor. We have 2.79. And lastly, let's look at our work performance. All right, so we asked individuals to rate themselves in terms of their work performance. Let's see if this is a good one. Okay, change that to average. Amazing, we have 4.07. Amazing, amazing. All right, so everyone believes they are doing a very good job at work, which is absolutely great. Okay, so it's time for us to dig into some of our charts and see exactly what we are going to bring out in terms of insights. Okay, so the first thing we want to look at is our job satisfaction by work diversity. Okay, diversity at work. All right, so we are going to take in our bar chart, our donut chart here. Let's use a donut chart. All right, in terms of the attributes we have in our survey form, we're going to just use this. Okay, so I'll go ahead and bring in the attributes that we need, which is our diversity and inclusion, and then our average job satisfaction. Okay, so I'll change this from sum to average. All right, let's see what we have. Okay, so once that shows up, we're going to be adjusting the way our visual looks like, first of all, right? I'll be using this and duplicating it throughout our visual. Okay, so we can see our figures here. For those that are under maybe, we have them with 4.0% job satisfaction, all right? For those that said no, they had 3.5. Okay, they take up at least 32% of those that said yes, we have a good job satisfaction. I believe in terms of job diversity, we don't have any issue in terms of job satisfaction, all right? So for those that said no, they don't have job satisfaction, they don't have diversity at work, right? Their job satisfaction is still quite high, which means they don't have so much challenges as to what we expected, right? So let's just do some adjustments to this chart and we can move on to the next. So I'll turn off my legend and I'd like to see all the descriptions right beside our charts here. Okay, so I'll use this, all data labels, and turn this slicer on a little bit. Okay, so the next thing we'll look at here, I'll just duplicate this chart, okay, and change the figures that we have inside. Control C, Control V, and I'm looking at our gender, all right? I'll look at gender. So all I have to do here is just swipe the diversity for gender, all right? Then we can see what is going on with our gender, okay? So that's it. We have our gender, we have female, male, and prefer not to say. We can also see their job satisfaction figures beside that and the percentage that it took for them in this particular area, all right? So for females, I believe the females have the highest job satisfaction and the males as well, all right? Let me make this bold so so we can all see exactly what's going on here, all right? So detail label, brings that. Okay. I also want this to be that way as well. All right. So the next thing we'll look at very quickly, let's look at our job satisfaction by age group. All right, job satisfaction by age group. So before we talked about looking at how exactly are we going to know which age group has the highest job satisfaction, how are we going to be able to understand how these individuals are reacting to their jobs recently? Are the younger ones saying, oh, we want to leave, we are not happy? Are the older ones the ones saying that? Or are they more satisfied with their jobs, right? So here we are going to use a clustered column chart. I'll just change this out here, replace my x-axis with our age group, okay? I'll just click on that, okay, and everything changes, okay? So you can see how seamless it is using this Power BI just to work on one or two things, all right? So here we can see our age groups. You can see that those between the ages of 31 to 35 have the highest job satisfaction, whereas those between 18 to 25 have a low job satisfaction compared to other age groups, all right? So we can say the higher the age, all right, the higher the job satisfaction, the lower the age, lower the job satisfaction. But we can also see some disparities here. Don't worry, by the end of the night, we'll be able to make a final decision on what is expected, okay? Although I would like to see some extra things here, which will be looking at our job types, all right, under this particular job satisfaction. So we are going to be adding a legend for our work type, all right? That's going to be our remote work, our on-site jobs, and all other attributes that we have, all right? So that's that. It will show up here. I also like to turn on my legend so we'll see exactly what that is all about. Awesome. All right, so now that we have this information here, we can see our hybrid classified as light blue, on-site classified as dark blue, and remote classified as orange. All right, so when we are reading our chart, we know exactly what is going on under each of these age group. All right, so second to the last chart we are going to create here would be for our job types as well as our gender. So let me just uncheck and place that value. All right. Job satisfaction. Okay. So have work type and we have gender here. And last but not the least, we are going to look at our column, our metrics, looking at our job titles. All right. So if we've looked at all this information and we still don't know exactly which job title is most affected by job satisfaction, this particular survey will not be complete. All right. So let me quickly adjust this. Okay, so we have this here. Okay. All right, so using the simple drag and drop is also as effective as possible working with Power BI. Then lastly, I'll look at my metrics by job titles. So let me expand this. This is going to be a long one. All right, so here I'll bring in my job titles. We have a long list of job titles already. So we'll see that listed out here. And then for my column, I want to see all the ratings for my job satisfaction, right? All the ratings for job satisfaction under column. Okay, so I'll place that here under column. So this is still loading. This is still loading. All right. And what we want to see these metrics by, I want this to load before I apply the last step. What we want to see these metrics by is definitely going to be our job satisfaction, all right? We want it to show us a pattern or a trend of how different job titles react to or rate their job satisfaction, all right? So we look at it, okay? See our list here. We have account officer, account official, analyst, client relationship managers. We have different job roles right here, all right? So it's time for us to find out how each of these job roles are influenced or rate their job titles, okay? So I'll just go ahead and bring this in, job satisfaction under values, okay? And again, like I said, we're looking at our average figures. Okay, so I'll quickly do some adjustments to this chart. All right, so let me just change the style precepts here. I want to use this design, and then I'll use a conditional formatting to direct the places where we have high and low job satisfaction to make our analysis or insight generation easier, all right? But first, let me just increase the sizes of our column headers, make it bold, right? And let me apply conditional formatting just to highlight this, okay? All right, so the last thing I want to do here in terms of chart is to apply a filter, all right? So I want to apply a filter here to help us see our analysis or our charts by countries, all right? So let me just adjust this, okay? So I'll bring in a filter here for our countries, all right? So it will not be useful for us to collect countries and still not know exactly what is happening in those areas, okay? So I'll bring this in here and put in our country column to help us see what is happening for each country. Let me quickly format this and let's apply our filter to see what is going on here. All right, so let's see, drop down. Okay, so let's select Nigeria and see if our dashboard is going to respond effectively to that. All right, so we have, awesome. So we have 19 people, and those in Nigeria, their job satisfaction rate is 3.1, and work-life balance is 3.05, and then their performance is 4.0. All right. So let's see those let's see Canada. All right. So Canada, we have 3 responses, and okay, work-life balance is very poor. So we can see those different information popping up. We can even see the number of information here as well. Okay, let me just take this out. All right, remote work, hybrid work. All right, that's the category people in the region of Canada fall under. All right, then male and female. We have our female working under remote. All right, and our male mostly working as hybrid in this particular region. All right. So we can depict their job satisfaction. We can depict whatever is going on in this uh, survey, understanding what is going on with all the individuals that are giving us feedback, and being able to help them tailor some insights to ensure that everyone is well taken care of. So finally, let me bring my dashboard together by applying some quick designs, and then we'll be pushing out the forms for us to fill so that we can get our final recommendations, okay? So let me quickly go here and bring in a shape to work with. All right, so I'll just quickly put my dashboard together here. All right. So I'm just going to use this line to bring border and barriers to everything that we have here. Let me minimize this quickly. Okay. Okay, so finally, we want to give our dashboard a title, all right? And to do that, I'm going to be using a text box, all right? So I'll just bring in my text box here. We can see that text box labeled directly. So text box allows us to, type in whatever input that we want to type in case we don't want to use the normal labels that we have. But to give our dashboard a name in Power BI, definitely you should be making use of your text box to do that effectively. So I'll name this dashboard employee job satisfaction analysis. So let me just type that in. Okay, let me make that bold. I like to make this as bold as possible, but let me try 28 first and see how that goes first. Okay. All right. So I think this is bold enough. I'll adjust this. And let me make this an even shape as well. Okay. Just want to make sure this is properly aligned. Distribute it horizontally and middle. All right. So I believe everything is coming together. All right. So here I'll just turn off the background of this visual, so everything works out better than it looks right now. Turn off background. Okay. So we can see that line right there. Lastly, let's change the picture of this whole dashboard. So I'd like to apply a color code here. Let's see. Okay, let me use this. Awesome, awesome. All right, so this is what we have here. I think this makes everything look even much more better. So lastly, let me just highlight this so everyone can see it as boldly as possible. Okay. All right, so if we've been following this process so far, just type in 1 in the chat. If we've been following this process so far, type in 1 in the chat. All right. Okay, so we are finally at the point where I'm going to be sharing that particular form in the chat. All right. So our survey form is going to be coming into the chat very soon. So I'm going to send it out in the chat. All right. I'll give us, let's say, 3 minutes. All right, 3 minutes to fill the form, and immediately we are done, I'll refresh it and we can see how our process is going to be in terms of collecting new information from our survey. All right, so let me quickly do that right now. All right, so the form is in the chat. For those of us that are interested, please go on and fill that form so that we can see what our chat is going to look like after we have done this. All right, so click on the form and start filling. Okay, click on the form and start filling. So the form says employee survey Google form. All right, employee survey Google form. Okay, so I can see some response coming in already. Amazing. Awesome, 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 awesome. Okay, so let's give 2 more minutes, 2 more minutes to fill that. Just check in the chat. You are going to see that form. All right, click on it and fill in your response. Okay. Awesome. I can see a number of us have filled the form already. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so we have 1 minute now. 1 more minute, 1 more minute before we refresh that form. I believe most of us would like to see our information once I refresh that. All right. So I know some new countries will come in, some new locations as well, based on where we are currently. All right. So let me go back to Power BI now. Okay. Let me go back to Power BI now. All right, so all eyes on the screen. So I can just do this and show us how this works. So we've connected to our Google form where we created our survey. All right, from there we were able to extract a Google Sheet, right? That Google Sheet was what we used to connect to our Power BI interface, all right, to make sure our data set is good and fine. We cleaned it up, did some adjustments here and there, right? So we are now expecting that a new information will also come in right now without us having to go through all those long processes that we started from in the beginning. We just want to get our insights, all right? So let's see what we have here. Let's see how many of us were able to fill the form as well. So right now, currently we have 29 responses. And to get our new information, all right, just imagine you have to report on this on a weekly basis, right? All you have to do after creating your first report will just to come here and hit the refresh button. All right, so I'll just do that as well. Okay, let me hit that refresh button and see what our new data is saying right now. All right, so we have 29 responses right now. Let's see. All right, so we're able to move up to 43 new 43 rows of records, right? So let's see what's going to be the job satisfaction average. All right, now that it's still rotating, let's just take note of how it looks like. Okay, just take a picture, take a screen grab. All right, how it looks like, and before you know it, we are going to start seeing the new information. All right, so we're going to start seeing the new information dropping in. All right, so remember, all those data cleaning, table changing, and all that is not, we didn't apply any of those steps. So you can see the change in the data. Everything is changing. The insight that we're going to be collecting is now different. All right. Job satisfaction has dropped. Average work-life balance as well. Okay. Even work performance, everything has changed. All right. The number of responses from 29 to 43. Amazing work, guys. All right, so let's see our countries. All right, so we have England, Canada, UK. All right, let's start filtering. You can see Ghana, Kenya. All right, that wasn't even in our data before. So new information has come in. We didn't have to go back and forth to start making sure that everything comes to life. But we can just come here, click refresh, gain new insights, build on our reports and all that. All right, so let's see what's going on in Canada. All right, so now we have 4 people in Canada, right? So 4 Canadians have been able to tell us what is going on with them. So we have average work performance 4.5, which is the highest so far for Canada, right? So work-life balance is still very poor. And we have our average job satisfaction rating at 3.75. Okay, so our average job satisfaction here by diversity and inclusion says that majority of those in Canada have, yes, job satisfaction, yeah, diversity, right? And also, some of them are not so sure if they have diversity at work, although their job satisfaction is still rated about 4.0 on average. And for those that said, yes, they have job satisfaction, is even still quite lower than those that said, maybe I'm not so sure if we have actual job satisfaction right there. All right. So for this chat right now, okay, don't worry. In the next one, I'm going to give it to you guys to comment in the chat. For this chat right now, we can see what we have here. Average age, sorry, the average job satisfaction by age group, right? So for those that are below 8, for those that are between 18 to 25, most of them are working as hybrid, but we still have their job satisfaction at 4.0. I believe that's what applies to those that are above 36 and above, right? They work on site, job satisfaction is still 4.0, which is very, very good, right? So this is not about, for this particular description, it is not about age. Those that are younger are still experiencing good job satisfaction, and those that are older are experiencing good job satisfaction. But for those that are between 26 and 30, I believe they have a lower job satisfaction, although still very good, 3.50. Remote work, okay? I think they're still having some difficult moments, all right, which is why their rating is lower for Canada, right? So we can see their job satisfaction rate here. We can see the thicker color, darker color here, showing that, yes, these individuals are balling at work, right? They are enjoying themselves at work. Let's see another country and see exactly what is going on here. All right, let's see Ghana. All right, so we have 2 responses for Ghana. All right, so this is what we have for Ghana. I think job satisfaction is still great. Work-life balance, awesome. That is a way better result than what we have in our, that is a way better result than what we have in our Canada survey, right? Then let's see what we have in Kenya. Let's see what we have in Kenya. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. So in Kenya, we have 5 for work performance. All right. So I believe this person really rated themselves well. All right. So, but for work-life balance, we can see we just have 3.0, 3.0 for job satisfaction, okay, which is still good. On average, you are still enjoying your work environment, at least, and your work-life balance is still great. Let's see what we have for Nigeria now. Oh, so work-life balance is not as great as other areas, all right? Work-life balance is not as great. Job satisfaction is 3.1. Okay, we have a long list, 27. So most of us are in Nigeria. Amazing, amazing. We have a long list, and we can see that majority of our satisfaction rates, all right? So we can see 1 here in terms of, okay, this person is a data analyst and their job satisfaction is 1, all right? On average, 1, okay? Majority of us are under 3.0, which is still great. 3.0 is still good, all right? So we have a few good number under 4 as well, all right? So we can see that pattern showing everywhere on our charts. Amazing. Let's see other areas like UK, and finally, let's see US. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so we have a good job satisfaction rate, but work-life balance is still quite low. All right, so bringing up recommendations for these individuals to cater with the issues that they are facing would be a great way to start. So the main thing is that most individuals are not having a great job satisfaction, all right? So if I turn this off right now, so we have 3 responses for USA as well. still the same thing, job satisfaction. Although job satisfaction is not as bad as I expected it to be. Okay, so let me clear this filter and let's see what we have. So work-life balance is a major issue, which I believe the employee should look out for as well to ensure the wellness and motivation of their employees. All right. So because of time, I would have loved us to actually start bringing out insights. But because of time, I would like to hand over so we can continue from where we stopped with my colleague, Oluwadamilola. Hi, Damilola.
Hi, Mary. Thank you so much for that awesome presentation. So
Awesome.
thank you. If you totally enjoyed Mary's presentation, can you please give her a round of applause? Or show some, appreciation in the chat, please. Thank you, Mary. So we are, getting to the end of the session. And in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to show you how you can get started as an HR analyst, right? Everything that Mary has showed us right now is very simple. You just need somebody to guide you through the entire process. And that's what I'm going to be, taking you through today, exactly how you can get started as an HR analyst by yourself. All right, so I'm just going to share my screen and just give me a minute to share my screen. Okay, please let me know if you can see my screen.
Not yet. Yeah, it's
All right,
coming
how
up.
about now?
Yeah, it's showing. We can see it.
Okay, fantastic. So why should you choose a career in HR analytics? Why should you choose a career in HR analytics? Please confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, you can see your screen.
Right, thank you. So why should you choose a career in HR analytics? I'm going to explain that in next 30 minutes, and then we're going to close the session. All right. So please try as much as possible to stay with me. Okay, so demand is growing at an unprecedented rate, and this is the best time to get into the tech space. If you're in this masterclass right now, I believe it's because you have, one interest or the other in getting into the tech space. And HR analytics is one of the thriving fields in tech at the moment. And it's definitely a field that you want to get into as soon as possible. Okay, now what is the role of an HR analyst? If you're going to be working as an HR analyst, what will you be doing? What will be your roles? One of the things that you'll be doing is coming up with dashboards, employee satisfaction dashboards, talent optimization dashboards, and so on and so forth. Helping the company make sense of their HR data. So as an HR analyst professional, you convert people related data into insights. You take this kind of data here, all right, this kind of data here, and then turn it into, okay, so this kind of data here, you take it and turn it into insights for the company. You turn it into insights for the company. You make sense of their HR data. And how then do you become an HR analyst? How then do you become an HR analyst? First off, what will be your role? As the HR analyst, you use data-driven insights to support human resource functions, just like employee job satisfaction. Imagine in the past where they were not even collecting data on HR analysis. They were not collecting data surveys from employees to know if they are enjoying the business or not, and then they'll see a lot of employees leaving the company. Now companies are more intentional about their employees, and they are more intentional about their HR data, hence the need for an HR analyst. So as the HR analyst, they're going to be using data-driven insights to support human resource functions. Then they focus on optimizing HR processes. They focus on optimizing employee performance. Then they focus on optimizing talent management. So as the HR analyst, this is you right here. As the HR analyst, you are going to be working with employee data. It's a let me say specification, right? You're going to be working solely with employee data. Okay, what is the average salary of an HR analyst in the UK? In the UK, they earn up to £32,500, all right, per annum. In Canada, they earn up to 71,000 Canadian dollars, and in the US, they earn up to 62,000 US dollars. Mary, can you confirm if my screen is showing?
Yes, everything is very clear here.
Okay, all right, thank you. So Jonas, you might want to probably leave and log in again or something, all right? So what are the key learning areas for an HR analyst? You're going to be learning problem solving. And this is very important because as an HR analyst, you're going to be solving HR problems, HR specific problems. And to know how to solve the problems, you need to know all the problem solving techniques. It's one thing to be able to solve problems because maybe we all naturally are problem solvers. It's another thing to know problem solving techniques that you can use to approach different problems at different times. So number one, you're going to be learning problem solving techniques and how you can, solve HR analytics based problems. Then you learn Excel, right? Excel is one of the leading tools when it comes to HR analytics. And it's very important that you know how to use Excel as an HR analyst. What are you going to be learning in Excel? You learn from the scratch. And it also, indicates that you're going to be learning from the scratch. So even if you don't have any experience using Excel at all, never mind. We are going to be starting from what is Excel, as in the Excel interface. So you're going to learn Excel. You're going to learn different functions within Excel. You're going to learn how to use pivot tables, pivot charts, how to build interactive dashboards in Excel, all right? And this is one of the tools that HR analysts use a lot, okay? Then you also learn Power BI. What we just finished using is Power BI. But where we started from today is, just went straight into the analysis. But when you join the class, you're going to be starting from what is Power BI. Like, we're going to be defining what Power BI is for you. That's where we're going to be starting from. Then we'll move to SQL, structured query language. That's a language for querying databases. Okay, so that English might sound a little too much, but do not worry, it's a very soft landing for you. Okay, so you're going to be learning HR analytics and performance evaluation. Then you learn HR metrics and life cycle, HR analysis and dashboarding, how to analyze HR data, and also like create HR dashboards, just like the one that we just finished creating. Then you learn collaboration and report automation using different tools. You'll also learn how to build your case and create your actions as an HR analyst. Then you learn ChatGPT for HR analytics. What is the learning timeline for this program? It's for 4 months, okay? The program is for 4 solid months. And yes, you can become an HR analyst in 4 months. You don't necessarily have to spend years learning. That's why we say that our courses are like very structured and also very beginner friendly and also very practical, very hands-on. The projects I did in class today is like one of the, thousands that you're going to be working on. All right. So as long as you start to work on projects immediately, you have become an HR analyst. So In 4 months, you can become an HR analyst. You learn in 3 months, and then 1 month of internship. You learn for 3 months, life classes for 3 solid months, and then 1 month of internship. Okay. What is the HR analyst curriculum like? So what is the HR analyst curriculum like? Like I said, problem solving, Excel for analytics, Power BI, SQL, that's structured query language, HR analytics and performance evaluation. This is the breakdown of everything that you're going to be learning in class one by one, the breakdown. So when you get the slides, please do also go through the entire curriculum to see it, more in-depthly. Now, we are saying HR analyst, but it's a generic term, right? There are tons of other roles that you can go for after this program. You don't necessarily have to go for, this is a mistake that some people make. They think that, oh, because I've learned HR analytics, I can only apply for job roles that they specifically said they are looking for HR analysts. No, there are other job roles that you can do even after taking this program. You can work as a workforce planning analyst. You can work as a reward analyst. You can work as a talent analyst, as a compensation and benefits analyst, HR data analyst, HRIS analyst, as well as HR compliance analyst and succession analyst. These are the different roles that you can go for as an HR analyst after taking this program, right? You don't necessarily have to say you're going to wait till you see HR analytics on the job board before you can apply. You can always apply for these different roles after taking this program. So like I said earlier, your roadmap will be to learn it's a 4 months learning journey, 3 months of project-based live classes, all hands-on, very practical, just like we did in class today. And then you work on your capstone projects where we'll give you real life projects to work on and submit and evaluate. Then would embark on a 1 month virtual project internship. Okay, so classes are on Saturdays only, on weekends, right? We've tailored it in a way that it is very easy, even for people that have 9 to 5, to take these classes. Classes on Saturdays only. They are from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. West African time. This is tailored towards people that stay in Europe, across Europe, across UK, Nigeria, and so on and so forth. And that same 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. is 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Alberta Mountain Time, for people that are not currently in Nigeria. So classes are on Saturdays, and then on Sundays you get something that we call Watch Me Do It videos. These are videos that have been re-recorded to help your learning journey. They are concept videos that are very important for you to learn. So on Sundays, you get your Watch Me Do It videos, and then you come to class on Saturday to work on live, real life case studies. And that's just how it works. All right. So self-paced Watch Me Do It videos on Sundays, and on Saturdays you have live classes where you get all practical and work on real life case studies. Now a couple of reasons why people struggle to get a job in tech. Number one is because they put the cart like so right here. They put the cart before the horse, and I'm not sure how that's supposed to work, because the horse is supposed to be pulling the cart. But if people are putting the cart before the horse, it makes no sense. All right. So that's people putting competence over credentials. You see people taking tons and tons of certifications. These things do not work in real life. All right. You need to, rather than chase certificates, you need to chase skills. And this is where you get the skills. You need to chase the skills themselves. All right. So within analytics, you build a portfolio to show your proof of work, your expertise, and you also learn in public. If you go on LinkedIn now and you type in #analytics, you see our students learning in public, building projects and posting them online. These are the ways by which you can, land a job in tech, and these are the things that would help you do. We help you build that confidence to be able to learn online. Another thing is trivializing job applications. You see, one size fits all CVs. People are using one CV to apply for 50 different jobs from 50 different companies. These things do not work that way. All right. So you need to tailor your CV at all times. And these are things that we will teach you within Analytics, how to tailor your CV to each job role, each job company they are trying to apply for, so that you're not using one CV to apply for 50 different roles. All right. So it's not usually about the volume, it's about the quality. It's not quantity, it's quality. And that's something that I would also teach you as well. Then lastly, interviewing, which is very important because they tell you, tell me about yourself, you're stuttering. These are things that would also help you build that confidence within Analytics. All right. So these are the main reasons why people do not easily land jobs, and these are things that we are going to help you overcome. All right. So yeah, some success stories. If you go on our LinkedIn, YouTube as well, you see different success stories across our YouTube channel. But yeah, this is Victor. Victor took this same HR analytics program, and after that, he landed 2 different roles. One as a an HR business partner with a people operations analyst with Ugo in Chicago, Illinois. So Victor stays in Lagos, Nigeria, but he got a role, he got a job as a people's operations analyst with Ugo in Chicago, Illinois, that's in the USA. And then he currently works as a senior HR business partner with Tangerine Africa. All right. I'm going to try to play Victor's, okay, Victor's video. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I don't know why that is not playing, but okay. Maybe after towards the end of the session, I'll just try to play again. But yes, that's for Victor. But you can always go on our YouTube channel to check it out. Then we have Sonia. Sonia also landed a job as an HR analyst in the UK after taking our program. Okay, so after she did everything that we taught during the LinkedIn optimization session, she started getting calls and messages from recruiters on LinkedIn. All right, and these are more people that have taken the HR program and have succeeded in the program. So we do not just talk, we walk the talk. All right, this is Jalilat, and this is Adebola, this is Shayla, a lot more other people that have taken the HR analytics program and have gotten jobs. This is Maureen, who got a job with Celos International in Canada as an HR analyst. This is Thelma. All right, Thelma got a job with a company in Birmingham as an HR analyst right after taking our HR program. These are other people that have gotten jobs within the within Analytics, okay, within Analytics, and they have, you know, all gone out to succeed at one point in time. This is Ramat. Ramat got a job as an HR, as a business analyst, right? But this is another program entirely. So these are like different people that have gotten jobs within the program, and they've all, you know, gone out to do really amazing things for themselves. Okay, so you're going to get the slides. You can please feel free to check through all of the videos that have been attached. But yes, our next course is going to be starting 6th of April 2024, and this is the best time to plug in. This is the best time to plug in, because another amazing thing is that we have an amazing discount going on. Okay, but yeah, why should you train with Analytics? These are the things that we've achieved in 2023, and we have helped over 850 people transition from the classroom into their first role in tech. And this time next year, you could also be one of our success stories. And not even next year, maybe this time six months from now, you know, you can also be be part of our success stories. So why should you train with analytics? We have up-to-date curriculum. We work with up-to-date curriculum. We follow industry trend and we update our curriculum as the industry is moving. We have industry experts with hands-on experience. They have hands-on experience. These are people that have worked, that have 5 years, 10 years of experience within the field, and they are coming to imbibe this experience in you. Then we have blended training delivery to accommodate every single person. Okay, this way we are all able to learn and nobody is left behind. Then we have additional employability services that will help you land your dream role. Then we have the internship designed to stimulate real world environments. And all of these things combined would make you an industry ready tech professional. All right. So how can you position yourself in the job market in three-layered approach? How can you position yourself in the job market for success in three-layered approach? We have our added additional employability services. The level one is CV review sessions, where we bring in an expert to help you review your CV and also give you pointers and teach you how to boost your CV. You know, some people still have their date of birth on their CV. That's not correct. Okay, you should not have your date of birth, your a lot of things that we're going to discuss during the CV review sessions. Then we have the LinkedIn optimization sessions. LinkedIn is very important. It's where people go to get jobs. And you go to some people's LinkedIn profile, it's their family members or their family picture on their profile, which is wrong. So these are the things that we're going to teach you how to optimize. Then we have the up optimization session. These are for people that do not want to, they want to, do tech and travel the world. So from different parts of the world, they are earning different currencies. Then we have the navigating job market sessions. We have the job and preparation interview sessions. These are sessions that if you have left, you finished your training program and then you land an interview, you can always come back to do job and interview preparation sessions. All right. Then we have a recommendation letter for people that have gotten jobs and they need a reference letter. Then level 2 is weekly mentorship session that happens every week. And we bring in experts, body mentors to help you navigate your own career as well. These are people that will teach you step by step what they have done and help you navigate your own career path as well. Then we also have something that we call our major promise to you, and this is a guaranteed job interview 1 month after you have completed your training with us. We guarantee you a job interview. Okay. This is our growth internship where we're going to be working on. It's free for everybody that registers for our program. We're going to be working on different programs, different projects. All right. And then you have a dedicated coach assigned to you to help you through the 1 month journey. Okay. So we'll support you to get relevant relevant work experience during this internship. And what are the new additions for this year, for people that are registering this year? We have the body mentorship. Like I said, where we'll bring in people that have gone through the program to teach you step by step what they did to succeed in this program. Then we have the enhanced internship experience, and you get to work with different layers of different people from different projects as well. Then we have the partnership with recruitment agencies in the UK, the Canada, and other countries where you're going to, interact with them and, learn different things from them. So our next course is starting on the 6th of April. On the 6th of April. Hi Mary, can you still hear me? Hello? Okay, hi guys, can you hear me now? All right, thank you. So I think I got thrown out for a bit. So I'm gonna reshare my screen now, and okay, please let me know if you can see my screen. I feel like I can see it from here.
Yes, I can see your screen.
All right, thank you. So the next course is going to be starting on the 6th of April. All right. And like I said, we have an amazing discount going on right now, which we call the International Women Day discount, and it's running for the entire month of March. Okay, so for everybody that pays registers for this program in this month, they get to pay an amazing discount. All right. So I don't know if people have previously checked what the prices were before, but due to the International Women's Day that happened a couple of days ago, we are giving out discounts. You get to pay just 50% of our training fee. 50% of our training fee. So previously, the HR program used to be $750, but if you're paying in dollars now, you can pay $375 for everything that I have said, for all the benefits and all of that. You're paying $375 instead of the original amount, which is $750. If you're paying in pounds, you're paying $625 pounds. Okay. That's the full amount. But because of the advantage of the International Women's Day scholarship, we are allowing people to pay £303 instead. Okay. Then if you're paying in naira, instead of 900,000, you're paying 450,000 naira. This is our way of helping people of the Black community transition into tech. So this is a discount that you definitely want to take advantage of as soon as possible. And ignore this right here, because this scholarship is open to 300 women and 50 men. So if you have your colleagues, your friends that are not here, you definitely want to let them know that there's a scholarship currently ongoing and that they should take advantage of this scholarship. Some of our participants work in different parts of this different companies. Post office, we have Duffel, Glow, Zenith, HBC, HSBC UK, Cognizant, and so on and so forth. We've been featured in different news outlets, newspapers, Business Day, Nairametrics, Punch, 3 Hour Fire, and so on and so forth. All right, so these are basically the things that we've achieved. Now, if you're ready to gain premium technology skills, I believe that now is the time to take advantage of this program. All right, so my colleague is dropping a form in the chat for people who are interested in taking action. All you need to do is click on that form. Okay, click on the form and it will take you to what you need to do for your next step. So you sign in. All right, so you sign in. I'm not sure why I'm not signed in. You sign in like so, and okay, okay. All right, so once you sign in, then you can, oh, I don't think I'm sharing what I'm talking about. Okay, all right, cool. Okay, so once you sign in, it takes you to this page where you can put in your email, then you select your gender, your name, your um WhatsApp phone number, and then which of the training program that you're interested in, and how you were able to find out about analytics. But before that, you need to have made your payments. Now, someone is asking me when the discount will end. It ends Sorry, let me confirm again. It ends on the 23rd of March, but once we hit 500 women, 300 women and 50 men, it closes, and every other person would have to pay the normal fee, because the scholarship is open to 300 women and 50 men only. So once it closes, once we hit that mark, that's it. Every other person will have to pay the normal fee. So the earlier you pay, the better. My colleague is also dropping the payments link in the chat, so you definitely want to click on any of the links, main stack link, and once you do that, you see the programs outlined here. So if you're paying for HR analytics, which is right here, you click on HR analytics. Okay, so once you click on it, it would ask you to, this is the price, it suggests the price, but you input the discounted amount, all right, which is 450,000, right? If I'm paying in Naira, then you proceed to pay. Okay, so you'd have to enter your full name, enter everything that you need to enter, and then make your payments. This is how it works. All right. So again, the sooner you make your move, the better for for you. The sooner you're able to take advantage, or secure your space in the scholarship scheme. Okay, so I'm going to try to play one of the testimonials, and then we'll take questions and call it a very fantastic day. Okay, so I particularly want to play somebody from the HR. Okay, cool. All right, I'm just gonna share my screen in a minute. Just give me a minute.
That cut across the media, consulting, and aviation industry, and I'm here to share about my story with Analytics. So, sometimes in 2020, just before COVID started, I began to nurse the desire to upskill my career, and then it felt like data analytics was something I could do. So, I went for an event somewhere in Lagos, Nigeria, and at that event, I met Adeza Suleiman.
Sorry, can we hear the sound? Can we hear the sound?
Yes, but I believe the volume is a bit low.
Very honest, it was one of the best Excel classes I've had because it was very easy to understand and it was relatable. So what happened was that after the event, I met with Adeza and I got his contact, and then we kept in touch.
It's
Fast
good
forward to
now.
I was now at a point where I really felt I needed to take a step beyond the desire of wanting to upskill, and then I reached out to Analytics to take the master in HR analytics course. So we started the course in October, and it was very fascinating. I like the fact that the course is systematic in nature. We moved from problem solving to Excel, and then to Power BI to dashboard and all of that. But the icing on the cake is that I've always wanted to transition to the technology industry. I believe that tech is an enabler. I believe that tech is the future. And I also know that for someone like me who does not have a tech background, it was important to leverage a tech skill that would allow me to practice in my domain knowledge. Perfect, which is why I went for the Masters in HR Analytics course. So we started the course in October, and then sometimes in November, I started to apply for jobs and to see how I could position myself for any opportunity. And guess what happened? One of the roles I applied for, I had to work on case studies, I had to do some things and all that. And you would believe me that all that I was taught in class, even as a beginner at that time, was sufficient for me to land that job. You don't know how happy I was to think that I was just thinking of transitioning to tech, didn't know how to go about it, started classes in a few weeks, and of course, I was able to land a job in that little time. And I've been able to transition my career. So far, even the experience of the class was amazing. The facilitators are very simple. They are tender-hearted. They know how to explain. They are very patient. I like the fact it's also a live class, which means that I can participate and then go back to the recordings after the sessions. I'm eventually glad that if I look at myself between October and now, I've definitely grown in my analytics skills, creating my dashboard. Of course, I'm still a learner, but I'm growing. Here's my point, and I'm trying to encourage everyone out there. If you're an HR professional, you're a finance professional, if you're a supply chain professional, or even if you're an African youth who's looking to upskill, to transition into data analytics or into tech generally, Tech Analytics is your sure plug. They have amazing facilitators who have a track record of delivering results. The results among students also speak for themselves, which means that you are signed up to a platform that will not just teach you, but help you to grow. They also have LinkedIn optimization sessions, CV writing sessions, and the icing on the part is the growth internship. You know what? It's one thing to learn, and then another thing to have a platform where you can be able to practice it. So here am I putting out the water. If you want to move into data, if you want to move into tech space, 10 Analytics is your short plug. I believe they still have some promo going on right now. Go to their website, reach out, sign up, get your journey in tech started. Thank you very much.
All right, so you've heard from the horse's mouth directly. That is Victor, one of our participants who was able to land 2 amazing jobs after taking the program. So I believe we'll be calling it a fantastic day today, right about now. But if you have any questions, please feel free to, I'm going to unmute. So please use the raise hand icon and we'll call you if you have any questions in the house. Please use the raise hand icon, and we'll call you. Any questions? All right then, so love to see everybody in class. All right, please take advantage of this discount. It only comes once in a year. All right, so thank you so much everybody for coming. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye everyone.